Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday night here on DJNTV. Got to get the microphone aimed. I didn't bother to do that. Tonight, Nick and I are going to be talking about all sorts of fun things for those of you who want to expand your DJ business. Is that a good hook there, Nick?
I like it. It's what we're looking for. Yeah,
that's what we're looking for. So Nick, tonight we're going to dig into a market that's really in some areas or a part of the market that is kind of untapped by a lot of DJs. Let's dig into the area of doing not junior high dances as much, but just some of these younger school dances.
Right. So the concept that I really wanted to talk about a lot was the lower end, not the high school stuff, because that's a very different market, but the lower end, which is the what people call the K5 or even the 6th grade, 7th grade type dances and stuff like that. That's a big market that I think DJs don't get into because either they don't want to or they think there's no money in it. But there really actually is quite a bit of money in that market, considering the fact that there's little to no prep involved in these gigs, because we all know kind of how to do a top 40 event, and we know how to entertain a crowd and keep it going. And you can do a 2 or 3 hour elementary school or middle school event on a Thursday, Friday afternoon, and make some good money where you wouldn't be doing anything else.
So Nick, before we go,
it's really kind of an untapped market.
Before we start talking too much about the market, let's compare and contrast, because I think most DJs at some point in time in our career have done the high school dances. Yeah. So let's if we can compare what the difference between a high school and a middle school and then actually going down into an elementary dance, what would be some of the differences?
Well, when you're dealing with a high school dance, which I've done for years, back since '99. The high school dances, you're going to throw a lot more production at. You're going to throw a lot more trussing, a lot more moving heads, a lot more, you're bringing a nightclub in a box, sort of to the high school. That's what the high school dances are really going for. But when you're dealing with the middle schools and elementary schools, the demand for that kind of stuff just isn't there for two reasons. A, the kids and the parents and the PTA, type people, they don't really see the value in it because they really don't even want it. They don't want the big production. They want music and they want some lighting. That's all they really want to do. So the production value is a lot less, which brings down your labor, and then which brings down, your cost, and your profit margin. When you look at it from a percentage standpoint, stays about the same.
Sure.
Because you're not doing as much work and you're getting less money, but you're in and out of there in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas a high school dance, when I do a high school dance for 1,200 or 1,500 kids, I'm there, at 11 a.m. setting up for a 7 p.m. start. So there's a lot of big dances where I do an elementary school dance or a middle school dance. I roll in an hour before that. I set up and I'm good to go. It takes me 30 minutes to back out and I'm done. So there's a really big difference in the market and the setup. So I think that's a big thing that people should look at. It's similar setup when you're doing a small wedding or a little tiny corporate event, but those events don't happen on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Correct.
So that's why that midweek money comes in, for the DJ that's looking to make those kind of gigs, and they're easy to do, and they're quick in and out, and you can make some good money on the weekdays.
Let's talk about the music played between the two, and then we'll get into the marketing and how to seek out. Because again, I'm trying to alleviate some of these concerns that I know that a lot of DJs who don't do these, these are the biggest stumbling blocks. It's like, oh, I don't want to be, there's less money to be made. Music. What's the difference between a playlist for a senior high dance compared to like an elementary dance?
Well, a senior high dance is obviously going to be the latest and greatest, hip hop, R&B, top 40 stuff that just really cutting edge. I mean, the high school market is literally the kids that come in and they want to hear the song that just got dropped on their social media 20 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And that's a song they want to hear. And it's kind of ridiculous, but they come in, they ask me all these different remixes and these different artists that are all over the place. And they're great for, a lot of the kids are great for songs that are middle of the road, but they want the remix with this artist and that artist. And it's very, very complicated in the sense that the remixes and the stuff that they really want to hear, because they don't want to hear the regular top 40 they heard on the radio. They want to hear the remix that I'm not going to mention any artists, but the remixes that all these different artists made, and that's the one that they like. Mm-hmm. So very specific stuff like that. Whereas the elementary school level, much more broad, way more broad. I mean, they want to hear any Taylor Swift song that you have. They want to hear any Miley Cyrus song you've got. They want to hear Old Town Road, and they want to hear the version of it they heard on the radio driving to the dance.
Yep.
I mean, that's what they want to hear, and they're happy to hear it. So they're not asking for the crazy remixes. So pretty much, if you are a top 40 subscriber, you're going to have everything that you need to do those types of dances without a problem. And if you throw in the remixes, stuff that you've got, as long as they hear Taylor Swift in there, they're happy. It's not as hard to please the younger crowd as long as you keep the beat there and they're dancing and they're not sitting on the chairs or on the sides of the room, being wallflowers. As long as you can get them out on the dance floor and keep the beat up, those kids are really happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Great way to describe it. My finding exactly. Let's talk about how to find these events, and let's build that side up. And then if we have some time at the end, we'll come back and talk music just a little bit more. Sure.
So I've been doing that types of dances for, probably a good 10 plus years. And I built up a really easy marketing sort of strategy that works for me. And, it's simple, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Mm-hmm. There's no program to buy here. The concept that I do is every 2 to 3 months, I send out a mass email to every school that I've ever worked with. And I basically just tell them in the email that, winter is coming, or summer, or end of year is coming, or spring, or whatever the season may be. Do you have an event plan for this season? And normally I get a big mass of returns from those PTAs that I've sent out to, mm-hmm. saying, yeah, we're planning a spring fling, or we're planning a father-daughter dance, or we're planning an after-school, reward or something type of dance for the kids. And, I send out probably 300 to 400 emails in that mass email that I send out. And it's not a junk, sort of email that has all these crazy pictures and a bunch of links to click. It's literally an email that just says, dear Sally, here's the information. I'm the DJ, would love to work with you. And then they reply back. Mm-hmm. And it's really simple. And the next question that everybody always asks me is, where do you get those emails from? Like, where do you get the email list? So every summer, right about the second week in August, I have these two very awesome girls that do a little freelance work for me, and they start calling every school that's in our list, and they say, hey, we're calling to confirm that Sally is still your PTA president and that this is her email address. And some of the times the school says, oh no, Sally's no longer here. Our new PTA president is Jenny. Here's her email address. Send her, whatever you want to send her.
Right.
And then 50% of the time says, oh yeah, Sally's still here. That's her email address. Thank you very much. And that updates my list. And it's like 400, schools or so. And it usually takes the girls, I would say, maybe a week to do it. But the return on investment from that list of those girls making those calls is 100%.
Yeah.
And then I send out one email the beginning of the year, in the school year, usually right at the very, very end of August, which usually pours in events that start, September, October, for what the schools call the welcome back events. Those happen for elementary schools like crazy. And then middle schools always do what they call a a fall event. They do a fall event, it's usually their first dance of the year. Usually it's around October, like a Halloween dance or something.
Yes, yeah.
But it all books in September. Everything they all book in September. And then usually I'll throw a discount, like $100 off a photo booth or something into the email I send out. And that's always the mom cue for, hey, we got a deal. So, the replies come back real quick in that. And the other thing I want to mention about these marketing, concepts, can we get into a little marketing? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do.
So the marketing concept is you're marketing to moms. You're marketing to moms, and they're on their cell phones, and they are literally waiting in line at school at 2:30, and they're flipping through their emails, and they say, hey, DJ. They see that, and they go, hey, we were just thinking about a DJ. And literally, I can't tell you how many replies I get from those emails that are one line that says, sent from my iPhone, Sally, and the email, hey, looking for a DJ for a fall event, what are your prices? Even though my prices were already in the first email, they ask the same question again. And then what you have to understand, which is really important, is that when you send the email back to Sally, you're not marketing to Sally. You're giving Sally enough ammunition to go back and tell the PTA about me. Because Sally's not the one that's going to sign the check. Sally is the one that's going to tell the moms group that's in there that they found a great DJ and they want to move forward with booking. So you got to remember, you're not trying to sign up Sally. You're trying to give Sally enough info so she takes it back to the PTA meeting, and then they have some stuff to look at so they can book.
And of course, she's going to be the best salesman you have. Once you win her over, then it's downhill from there. Exactly.
Because once you do that, she's gonna come back to you with any of the concerns, of the music content, of the what lights do you have, do you play games, do you provide photo booths, all that sort of stuff, and then you can sort of talk her through how to tell the other moms, how to do it. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, the other moms are in a text chat that they're all in anyway, called, Moms of Jefferson Elementary. And the text goes, DJ has photo booth, DJ has lights, we book DJ. That's literally what
the whole conversation.
That's the conversation that happens in these text groups, because I've seen it. And that's how the moms book. They're not looking for these overwritten proposals and these larger stuff that we do for corporate events and for schools or for high schools.
Yeah.
They're quick and easy stuff as long as you give them the ammunition they need to make a good choice.
And what kind of things then do you find? You've got your quick little things, but I mean, do you send out pictures and images or send them URLs to video, or what kind of?
So the big things are they want a couple of pictures. Normally they want a picture of what your setup looks like on stage. They sort of want, the classic, clean wires and DJ booth and speakers and lights. They kind of want the clean look, so they know that you're not, rolling in there with a bunch of orange extension cords and you're throwing stuff all over the stage and you're going to make a mess of it. So they want that clean look. And then they also usually want a picture of the photo booth, because that's, the thing that people are going to look at, when they're at the event. So they just want to make sure your presentation is relatively clean, because that's, to moms, it's all about, what it looks like. So that's kind of what they're going for. And as long as those pictures look good and they're happy with it, then that usually gets you in the door for most schools. And I deal with probably I'd say 20 to 30 schools, on a constant basis every year that I work with.
Sure.
And once you do one really good solid year at a school, as long as you don't mess up too bad, you're there for a while. They keep using you. I mean, I do outdoor movies, and I do father-daughter dances and carnivals and stuff. And I get schools that'll call me in September now. Yeah, September normally. And they'll book me the whole year. They'll say, we want your outdoor movie, the carnival, the father-daughter dance, and graduation. And they book the whole thing because then the moms are done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I don't even think about it. So it happens all the time. As long as you've proven yourself, at least once, either the previous year or at least done one really big or good event for them.
We've got about 5 minutes left, Nick, and I wanted to go. You mentioned with doing dances or a variety of different things that you do differently for the elementary type dances than you would with the senior high dances, the interaction and such. Talk a little bit about some of the different things that you do at those dances.
So it's a lot more with the younger crowds. It's a lot more interactive. So you do a little more of what we call, the hokey stuff. You sort of do the line dances and a little more interaction and the crowd callbacks, because the kids at that age, they're looking for you to tell them what to do. So you're looking for them to bring them over to the dance floor. You want them to, tell them, put your hands up in the air and let's get a conga line going. It's really interactive. And once you kind of get that going, it's pretty fluid. Like, you don't have to work at it that much. But a lot of the kids, they want that interaction, and the parents love it. What I have to do a lot of the time is get the moms and dads out of the phone zone, which is what I call it.
Okay.
Because the dads, for the father-daughter dances, the dads love to come and they love to dress up for their kids, but 50% of them are taking pictures on their phone of their kid dancing. And I'm like, hey, that's great. Go dance with your daughter. Get out there on the dance floor and have some fun with her. Don't just sit there and film her. Because, that's kind of a one-way memory, of them doing that. So I have to tell the dads, I usually call them the dads, the cool crew. I say, get the cool crew out on the dance floor, and the dads will come running. And I tell the girls to go find their dad and get him out here and stuff like that. So it usually works. And you do like the stuff that always works well with the younger kids is like the chicken dance from back in the day, the conga lines and stuff like that the kids are kind of look at their parents and sort of show them how to do it. So then the dads kind of have to teach their kids what the chicken dance is, because a lot of them, don't know.
Haven't experienced it yet. Yeah.
Experiences is. So that kind of stuff, the interactive stuff is the biggest thing, the interactive. And as long as you have done it a couple of times, you kind of know in your programming where to slide those things in to keep the party where you want it to be.
Line dances, you mentioned that. Is that something that you found that you are having to teach some of those these days? Or is it something that the dads or the moms for the mother-son dance, they know enough of that so you don't really have to go out there and teach the dances?
The mother-son dances, I don't have to, because the moms know the electric slide and the moms know the Macarena and the moms know some of that stuff. The dads don't remember it as well.
Yeah.
So I have to usually do a little demonstration with the dads where I'll get out there on the mic and I'll sort of walk them through, the whole thing, and usually they catch on, after about half of the song.
Right.
And I don't mind. It's part of the job, so you enjoy it, and at the end of the night, the dads love you for it.
Mm-hmm.
They love you for it because it kept the night going for them. So that's always fun. But it's the dads that need more coaching and the moms that kind of know how to do it.
So you talked about a back to school dance that generally happens sometime in that late October time frame. Go through the rest of the schedule for the year for those again, because in our neck of the woods we have homecoming, senior high, then we go to the younger dances and we kind of bounce back and forth. Is that the same in your world?
So for the elementary, middle school crowd, usually you get a welcome back event that for the younger, for the K-5, the kindergarten to 5th grade level. You get those right about, in September, late September or mid-September. The middle schools usually do a welcome back / Halloween dance, kind of when the same thing as the high school would do a homecoming in October. The middle school and elementary schools usually do a Halloween or a fall dance.
Sure.
And a lot of times they don't call it Halloween because that's, not against the rules. They got to call it the fall dance, So they do a fall dance there. Then they move into the winter season. So normally the middle schools will do a winter dance or a formal. The middle schools will do a formal, and the other younger grades will go into sort of a winter, either a winter carnival, or they'll do a father-daughter or a family dance kind of in the winter.
Okay.
That's kind of what they normally do. And that sometimes will either fall before the break, which is even before Thanksgiving. So that'll start even in November, or it won't happen until January. Because there's that winter break in there that the schools do. So it's either they do it in November and then January, a little winter formal, and then moving into February, March, which would have been right now. I did about maybe 10 of them before the shutdown happened. It's the father-daughter dance. That's the whole February, March. Sure. It's all father-daughter dances. Yeah. And then moving into April and May, you move into prom season for the upper grades, and then you move into end of year sort of like wrap ups, graduation, promotion, end of year type stuff. And that usually all happens in May. And then for me, because I do so many schools, from May 30th until June 15th, I've got 2 events almost every day that happen, because all the schools will pack up those last 2 weeks of June. And I've done that for the last maybe 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Where June has been my absolute, crazy month, because everybody packs their events into June. And then usually I have one school that does a grad night on June 15th, which is the end of my year. So it's like the crescendo of my season, where I do a grad night and I'm up all night and we do outdoor movie and laser shows and the whole thing. It's like the big thing. But June is the big month if you're looking at school stuff. June is where all the money is.
Do you do anything over the summer where there will be a PTA group call and say, hey, we just want to do something?
Not really, no. Okay. It's very, very rare that I get a school dance in the summer season. It's really rare. Normally maybe for a year-round school, but it hasn't. It's there. I don't have a school in my marketing marketing plan that ever hits me up during the summer. I do have a school or 2 schools that hit me up in the summer to book me for the following year, because they want their dates.
Yeah,
but
to make sure.
I don't have any bookings from about June 20th till about September 1st. As far as the school stuff goes, it's pretty much dead.
Yeah. Well, that's similar. I've had one in my 35 years of where we had one school that a new advisor wanted to do something in the middle of summer. So I was wondering if that was ever going to come back, or if anyone's ever heard of that. So
no, not really. I mean, I get a lot of calls for availability over the summer, where they just ask, they've got 5 dates and they want to get them all. So they'll call over the summer and they'll try to get them all, but they never start booking until September. And a lot of the times the PTAs can't even contract until their fiscal year rolls over.
And it gets you that.
So they have to wait until August to where they have their first PTA meeting to actually sign the contract. But they want to get the contract in their hands so they can bring it to the meeting.
And get it all approved and such.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I guess tonight was Nick Covino. Nick, if people want to reach out and talk shop a little bit about the school dance world, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
My email address, which I give out to everybody, is nick@djextreme.com. That's the email address. It's spelled normally. It's DJEXTREME, the way that everybody should spell. If you spell it wrong, you're talking to somebody else. And that's happened. So don't get them confused. But email me, and I'm happy to share some info with you. I've got some great, top 10 ways to make your father-daughter dance better.
Excellent.
That I'd be happy to share with people. They're on my website, and they can get some stuff from me, and hopefully it'll help everybody out.
Yeah, well, that could be a future show for us, just focusing in on that one particular or 2 types of dances. So, Nick, great information. Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it. It's one of those areas I have done for a lot of years myself, and I really enjoy those types of dances, as well you do too, I see.
Cool. Thanks, John.
Yep, thank you much. Gang, we'll be back in about 5 minutes with Ben Stowe tonight, in just a couple of minutes here on DJNTV.